The topic that I chose to speak about today is public breastfeeding. Public breastfeeding is something that is highly controversial and something that a lot of people have opinions about. The two groups that I chose to speak to today are those who are for breastfeeding in public and those who are against breastfeeding in public. The first audience that I'll be speaking to are those who are for it. I would first like to start off by saying that breastfeeding isn't for everyone. I understand that there are women who have had children who can't latch on correctly, or there are women who could not produce the milk necessary to feed their child. I also understand that there are women who choose not to breastfeed and who choose to use formula milk, which is perfectly acceptable. Breastfeeding is something that is within our given rights, and we have a right to breastfeed wherever we feel. According to the Equality Act, it is illegal to forbid a woman from breastfeeding in public places like malls or restaurants or things like that. Breastfeeding provides the child with nutrients, it provides them with antibodies, and it boosts their immune system. It prevents things such as colds, flus, respiratory issues, etc. I can speak to this because of my own personal experience. My child was born premature by 6 weeks. Within weeks of being born, she developed a cold. Unfortunately, because she was so little, she could not take regular medication and she was just on breast milk. Because she was on breast milk, she was able to recuperate quickly within 3 to 5 days. It is our job to make women feel like they can breastfeed in public and make them feel safe and empower them. It is also our job to teach others and inform them that breastfeeding is something normal. It is something not meant to be sexualized, and that is not the intention of women. By educating people on breastfeeding and the benefits and how it affects women and the babies, it'll hopefully become a norm. It'll hopefully become socially acceptable. I will be now speaking to the second audience, those who are against breastfeeding. I understand that breastfeeding is something that is a very sensitive topic. I would like to educate you and tell you about how breastfeeding affects the babies, how it affects the mothers, and things like that. I understand that there are people who believe that babies should be breastfed under a cover. While there are women that do this, there are women who can't, simply because there are children who kick the blanket off, who get fussy because it gets hot under there, especially in the summer days. Also, there are people who say that women should bottle feed or feed the baby formula milk. Well, not every woman can pump, and not every woman can not every woman can have babies that want formula milk. Sometimes babies don't like it. Sometimes babies don't like to take from the bottle. Every baby is different. A woman cannot dictate when a baby wants to feed or how a baby eats. Also, there are people who say that women should go to the bathroom to feed their child. Well, there is something wrong with this. This is not an ideal place for a baby to eat. This is not an ideal place for anyone to eat, for that matter. There are a bunch of germs, a bunch of bacteria. People urinate in there, people vomit, people do all kinds of things in there. This is not a place for a baby to eat. A baby should be able to eat in the same places that a normal person would eat, in a restaurant, or if they get hungry in a library, let them eat in a library. This is going to help the baby. A woman a woman does not want to offend anyone. So sometimes women are afraid to speak out. So whenever somebody says discriminating words against them, it can hurt their ego. It can hurt them internally. Unfortunately, a woman takes these words into account. A woman will ponder these words and it'll eventually hurt them in the long run. It is very, very crucial that you are careful with what you say and how you say things.